An Arizona couple who prefer not to be named has played the state lottery for the past 40 years. This year, right before purchasing a ticket, they found a lucky penny, and wouldn't you know it, won the largest jackpot in Arizona's history, $410 million.
I think, Ant, that we've got one of them correlation causation issues here. I don't think the penny had a damn thing to do with it.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely right.
Yeah.
They decided, as many people do, to take the lump sum payment of $316,800,000, of which they'll pay about $90 million in taxes, leaving them with around $230 million. Our last episode dealt with our attempts to bring intuition to extremely large numbers like this. So I wondered how I would describe $230 million. $230 million is enough money to buy 1,000 typical US houses or 3,000 top-of-the-line Teslas.
That's a lot of both of those things.
It's a lot of both of those things. $230 million would pay for all 4 years of college for 7,500 students. Do you believe that?
Well, perhaps Twitter will explode with all kinds of people telling these nice people how they should spend their money, kind of like everybody does with Jeff Bezos.
Well,
and all of a sudden you realize why they didn't want their names published.
That's right.
Can't say I blame them.
That much money would pay this month's cable bill for every resident of Chicago, with enough left over to pay for each of them to go out for a nice dinner. It would pay for a brand new Samsung Galaxy S20 for every resident of Orlando, Florida. That's including children and babies.
And they could also sponsor Words and Numbers for at least 6 months.
Right, yeah. You could fund Words and Numbers for the rest of our run. Or $230 million would fund the federal government for 25 minutes.
That's actually longer than I would have thought.
Yeah, it was a little bit longer than I would have thought too. But here's an interesting thing. People often ask me, what if I were to give them one piece of advice about how to become a millionaire, what would it be? And most people who know anything about finance would give the same piece of advice, which is that time is on your side. Use it. So, for example, I ran some numbers here. If over the course of your working career, let's say 45 years, you put away savings $9 a day, just $9 a day. Turns out to be like $3,500 a year. $9 a day, put it in a portfolio like an S&P 500, something that yields the average return for stocks. You will end up at your retirement, adjusted for inflation, with $1 million.
That's a lot of money.
That's just $9 a day. But it's the 45 years that does it.
If only I had a time machine, I could go back in time and start doing that. But
right.
Alas, it's too late for us. Yeah.
Well, as with all generations, we tell our children. My parents told me, I tell them. I didn't listen to my parents. My children aren't listening to me. And so we just pass on this very good piece of advice that virtually no one listens to.
Yep, that sounds exactly right.